Welcome to Sentence of the Day, and this week we're looking at being verbs. So the learning intention for Sentence of the Day is to write a well-structured sentence that contains the following: capital letters to begin a sentence and also for proper nouns. End punctuation, making sure that at the end you have a full stop or an exclamation mark or a question mark. And naturally, we're looking for being verbs in this particular sentence. In my next slide, we're going to get an idea of what being verbs are. So I'll see you on the next slide. Welcome back. Now we're going to find out what being verbs are. Well, verbs are doing words. There are different types of verbs, such as doing verbs, being verbs, having verbs, thinking verbs, or saying verbs. Here are some examples of being verbs: am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Where possible, try and replace these being verbs with stronger linking verbs such as seem, appear, become, grow, remain, stay, prove, feel, look, smell, sound, taste. There are some examples. We're going to look at some examples in a sentence on my next slide. Let's move on. Okay, here are some examples of using verbs. Here are the examples. Number 1, my dad has been working all week. Has been is the being verb. Number 2, Carl will prove that the answer is correct. So Carl is going to do something. He's going to prove the answer correct. Here are 2 examples. In the next slide, you're going to have a go at writing your own sentence. Please make sure you review the slides to look at the sorts of being verbs that you can use in your sentence. Let's move to the next slide. Now it's your turn to write a sentence. Please remember that when you're writing a sentence for Sentence of the Day or for any other sentence, you need to think it, say it, write it, and then most importantly, read it to make sure that you have all of the learning intentions required. Please remember that when you write your sentence, I'm looking for your ability to have capitals at the beginning of your sentence, capitals for proper nouns, that is the names of animals, people, places or things, and also end punctuation, so full stops or exclamation marks or question marks. And finally, I'm looking to make sure that you have put being verbs into your sentence. I'm going to dictate a being verb sentence for you just to give you an idea. One of the being verbs or linking verbs was remain. Here's an example. I'll think it. I'm thinking about someone who's going to stay with someone in an ambulance, and I'm going to use the word remain. So here's my sentence. I'm going to say it now. Mum will remain in the ambulance with her son who got hurt. Then I'll need to write it. So I write, Mum will remain with her son in the ambulance after he got hurt. When I have written that sentence, I will read it and make sure that we have capital letters to begin, full stops to end, any other capitals for proper nouns, and my being verb. And my being verb in that sentence is will remain. It's your turn now. Have a go and see what happens. If you need to practice, go back and review this video. Thanks everyone.